add this to your wardrobe because coming this Saturday, everybody in Dallas County will be required to wear a face covering whenever they're shopping at big box stores or at grocery stores. Now, the county judge says it's important that people use homemade masks or items that you can find inside your home because they do not want people to buy surgical masks or N95 masks because those are needed for the healthcare workers.
You can take something like this and put it around your mouth.
Dallas County says there's limited evidence which suggests that using a cloth face covering in public can reduce transmission of COVID-19. Because someone can spread the disease to others before showing any symptoms, Dallas County says it's now requiring everyone to wear some form of a mask while at an essential business or while using public transportation. The amendment to the current shelter-in-place order says people over the age of 2 must cover their mouth and nose at places like a grocery store. Reusable face coverings include homemade masks, a bandana, scarf, or tightly woven fabric like a t-shirt or towel.
It's not that things are getting worse, we're actually flattening the curve, but by doing this, we hopefully can get this over with faster and keep people safer while we're getting it over with.
The new requirement also states that an essential business owner or operator can refuse service or admission if someone is not wearing a face covering. The county says this is not a substitute to physical distancing, so still make sure that you're staying at least 6 feet away from somebody else. Now, I know many of you may be wondering, do I have to wear one of these when I go pick up the mail, when I go walk the dog, or while I'm driving my car? The county judge says no. The face coverings are for when you're doing your essential errands, like getting groceries.
Tonight laying out his recommendations for reopening the economy. The guidelines do not provide specific dates or locations, and they acknowledge that governors have the final say on what happens in their states. President Trump tonight outlining new federal guidelines for opening up America again.
We are not opening all at once, but one careful step at a time.
This afternoon telling all 50 governors, you're going to call your own shots. The White House announcing 3 phases to guide governors' decisions. Phase 1 urging all individuals when in public to maximize physical distance from others, and saying schools that are currently closed should remain closed. Phase 2 when non-essential travel can resume, and bars and schools can reopen. And Phase 3 when Americans can largely return to their lives, but should consider minimizing time spent in crowded environments. Moving between phases for each state would require evidence the number of coronavirus cases has gone down for 14 days. And White House aides insist some states may be able to reopen before May 1st. The guidance addresses the need for testing and contact tracing, but it remains unclear how many tests will be needed and will be available for governors to feel comfortable reopening their states. The president today, pressed by Democratic lawmakers on the need for dramatically more testing, pushed back. According to one Republican senator, President Trump indicated that the economy would have to be reopened before widespread testing can be available. Peter Alexander, NBC News, the White House.
This is Gabe Gutierrez. From coast to coast, from New York and Boston to Orlando, Chicago, and Los Angeles, many cities are essentially ghost towns. Today, the calls to reopen America reach their loudest yet.
I don't think that the government really has any business telling us what we can and cannot do.
This protest in Virginia followed others this week in Michigan and North Carolina.
We're peacefully assembling. We have that right.
Today, the governors of 7 Midwestern states banded together to coordinate how and when they'd reopen. Ohio says its stay-at-home order will expire on May 1st with safeguards.
The world that we're going to see is a different world. You're going to see people with masks. You're going to see people where there's a lot of sanitizers. The workplace is going to change.
Los Angeles and Washington, D.C. have already extended their stay-at-home orders until May 15th. At the nation's COVID-19 epicenter, New York's governor today did the same.
What happens after then? I don't know. We will see depending on what the data shows.
Today, that data showed the daily death toll in New York fell for the second straight day. ICU admissions are dropping dramatically here, but the economic toll is mounting. Needy families lined up outside this Dallas food bank today. In Boston, Dr. Lakshman Swamy is worried about America reopening. His ICU is still packed.
It is terrifying to me to think about people congregating, to think about people being in the streets, to think about my kids in school again. Nothing scares me more.
About 2,000 Americans are dying from coronavirus each day. Among them, Kenneth Boswell of Rockford, Illinois. His wife says she lost the love of her life and had to say goodbye over FaceTime.
Drivers wait to receive food from the North Texas Food Bank with the help of the Texas National Guard at Fair Park on April 16, 2020 in Dallas. Juan Figueroa / The Dallas Morning News.
And here's the guidelines for the reopening of...
There must be a downward trajectory of reported flu-like illnesses and cases with COVID-like symptoms. There must be a downward trajectory of documented COVID-19 cases, or positive COVID-19 tests. Hospitals must be able to treat all patients without crisis care, and have a robust testing program for at-risk healthcare workers.